My name's Jason. I'm 27, and I live in Montana. Last fall, my girlfriend Emma and I decided to get away from everything for a weekend. We found this rustic cabin on a rental site, way out near Flathead Lake, surrounded by nothing but pines and silence. We wanted something remote. No phones, no people, no distractions. We got exactly that. The cabin was beautiful but simple. Cedar walls, a wood stove, creaky floors. The nearest gas station was 40 minutes away. There wasn't a single bar of reception. Not even static on the radio. The only sounds were the wind and sometimes the lake cracking under the cold. That first night was uneventful. We unpacked, made pasta on the stovetop, drank some wine, played cards by lantern light. Total peace. Until around 2:30 in the morning. I heard something. A faint, rhythmic scratching. I figured it was an animal. But when I leaned down close to the floor, I realized something strange. The scratching wasn't in the walls. It was coming from beneath us. Thing is, the cabin was raised on wooden stilts. The crawl space beneath it was maybe 3 or 4 feet high. And it was entirely sealed off with lattice siding. The sound stopped before I could figure it out. The next morning, I grabbed a flashlight and went outside. Through a broken patch in the lattice, I peered underneath. No animals. No signs of nests or digging. But the ground was soft. And in the dirt, I saw long, uneven drag marks, like something had been pulled or had crawled through the space under the house. I told myself it was erosion or tree branches dragging in the wind. That night, the scratching came back, only this time louder, more desperate. I grabbed the broom and slammed it against the floor. The noise stopped instantly. Emma, half asleep, mumbled, "Probably a raccoon," but I didn't sleep. The next day, I reinforced the lattice with bricks and checked under the cabin again. Still nothing but disturbed soil and cold air. That night, things escalated. Around 3 in the morning, I woke up. Emma was no longer in bed. She was standing beside it, perfectly still, staring down at the floorboards. Her lips were moving. She was whispering something under her breath. Not in English, not even a language I recognized. "Emma." I sat up. She didn't respond. When I touched her arm, she jolted, like snapping out of a trance. She turned to me, confused. Why am I up? She had no memory of standing there. No memory of speaking. I told her she must have been sleepwalking. She looked pale the rest of the morning. Didn't eat. Didn't speak much. That afternoon, I got this gut feeling, like something was watching us from beneath the floor. So before bed, I placed my phone under the bed and turned on the voice recorder, just in case. Around 2:47 a.m., I woke in a cold sweat. Everything was quiet. Too quiet. Emma was sleeping peacefully. I leaned over the side of the bed. No sounds. No scratching. The next morning, I checked the recording. At first, it was normal. Just soft breathing. The occasional shift of bed sheets. But at 2:46, a whisper. Low, breathless. Not a voice I recognized. It wasn't English. Just a string of wet, slurred syllables, like someone was repeating a chant without a tone. And then, the sound of a trapdoor opening. The problem? There was no trapdoor in that cabin. That was it. I told Emma we were leaving. We packed up and left that morning. Didn't even eat breakfast. Later that week, I called a guy who rented the cabin. Didn't tell him what happened. I just asked if anything weird had ever gone on there. He was silent for a long time. Then finally he said, "That place? It was supposed to stay sealed." Then he hung up. That was 6 months ago. Emma and I don't talk about it anymore. We broke up not long after. And sometimes, when it's dead quiet, when the house settles and all the lights are out, I still hear it. That whisper. That same rhythm. That voice, calling from beneath the floor. Last November, I rented a cabin up north just to write in peace. No neighbors, no Wi-Fi, barely even a road. I'm Denise, 34. I live in Boston and write folklore books, mostly niche historical stuff no one reads. The ad called it a silent space for reflection. Sounded like exactly what I needed. The place was charming, old wooden beams, a deep stone fireplace, and a propane heater that barely worked. Every sound echoed, your own footsteps, the stove's groans, the trees groaning outside. The first few days were quiet. I was getting work done, cooking soup, reading beside the fire. But on the 4th night, something shifted. At around 11, I turned off the lantern and laid down. The woods were dead quiet. No wind. No animals. Then, I saw a red glow outside the cabin window. It looked like a lantern hanging from a tree. Not flickering, just the glowing. I watched it for a long time. Figured it was maybe a hunter or someone hiking with an old light. Eventually, I fell asleep. The next night, it was back, but closer, hanging on a tree right near the edge of the clearing. It stayed there for hours. Didn't move. Didn't dim. Then, the third night, it was on the porch railing. That's when I locked all the doors, turned off every light. Still, it glowed through the curtains. I didn't sleep at all. I told myself it was just locals playing tricks, or a camper who got lost. But deep down, something felt off. It wasn't the lantern itself. It was the way it seemed to watch me. The fourth night, I stayed awake with a kitchen knife. Around 2:30 a.m., I heard it. 3 slow knocks on the front door. I waited, holding my breath. Then a nothing. In the morning, I checked the porch. The lantern was gone, but there were no footprints in the snow. None. And the snow was fresh. That morning, I found a strange burn mark on the windowsill, like someone had placed something hot there. I didn't understand what was happening, but I decided that night would be my last. I packed everything, left my bags by the door, sat with the lights off, waiting. Around 3 a.m., the whispering started. Not inside the cabin, not outside, though, like it was under the floorboards. Then dead silence. I sat frozen. Then, "Come out, we know you're here." I screamed and bolted. Drove the rental car down that frozen mountain road with no headlights, shaking. Never went back for my stuff. A few days later, I got a package at my apartment. No return address, just a small wooden box and a note inside. It said, "It followed you home." Inside the box was the red lantern, still glowing. All I wanted was silence. What followed me home hasn't stopped whispering since. We never left. That's what the guest book said. That's when everything shifted. My name's Tyler. I'm 21. This happened during spring break 2 years ago. Me and 4 friends rented a cabin near Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Cheap Airbnb find, split 5 ways. It was meant to be fun. Bonfires, hiking, beer. Just one last getaway before we all graduated. The place looked old, but the listing said it was built in 2007. 2 floors, a hot tub out back, fireplace that didn't work. But cozy, secluded, quiet, too quiet. First 2 days were normal. Board games, music, joking around. The most excitement we had was when one of the guys got stung by a bee. Then we found the guest book. It was buried in a drawer beneath some old takeout menus. A faded brown leather journal with yellowed pages. We started flipping through it while eating dinner. At first, the entries were what you'd expect. Beautiful view. Would love to come back. Dan and Lisa, 2019. Perfect for our honeymoon. Morgan and Kyle, 2018. But then, one entry stood out. Harriet W., May 1953. Lovely weather. A little rain. The trees speak at night. We paused. 1953? This cabin wasn't supposed to exist before 2007. We thought it was a prank. But as we kept flipping, the entries got older. 1941, 1926, 1898. I started feeling cold. Then we reached a blank page. Except it wasn't blank anymore. Someone had just written. We never left. That night, the mood shifted. We heard footsteps upstairs when we were all downstairs. Light flickering. One of the bedroom doors creaked open and then slowly closed. Jake swore the hot tub turned itself on around 3 a.m. The next morning, when we looked outside, there were wet footprints leading from the tub to the woods. None of us used the hot tub that night. We wanted to leave, but the weather turned. Rain, fog, zero visibility. So we stayed. That evening, we checked the guest book again. A new name had been added. Jake A., March 2023. The others can't see her, but I can. He swore up and down he didn't write it. And I believed him. His hands were shaking. That night, I woke up to a sound just outside the window. Soft humming. I sat up and looked through the blinds. There was a woman standing in the trees, wearing a white dress, no shoes, hair soaking wet, just watching. I didn't sleep after that. When the sun finally rose, we packed everything. Didn't even clean up. Just threw our stuff in the car and left. As we pulled away down the gravel road, Jake looked back and whispered. She was still on the porch. When I got home, I checked the Airbnb listing again. It was gone. The owner's profile had been deleted. No reviews. No pictures. Like it never existed. But I still had the guest book. I didn't mean to take it. It was just in my backpack. Like it wanted to come with me. Lately, pages have been going missing. Like someone's writing in it again. But here's the worst part. Last week, I flipped to the final page. There was a new entry. Tyler M., April 2025. She's inside now. I don't know who she is. But if this page updates again, and your name is in it, leave. Don't look back.